Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. First of all, I want to thank you all guys for all the comments you left in the previous video where we were asking for help about, we were in a panic, not knowing what to do exactly with our van, with our problems, and thanks a lot to all of you. It's really nice to feel this sense of community. So the community that we built in 7 years while living in our van and have all your support and your advice and tips. So we got to pretty much to a conclusion. We keep Mork. Yes, I mean, it's just a wonderful van. It's not just because of the emotional part, but it's because he didn't left us on the road for 7 years, and that means a lot for me. So we're gonna stay with the old devil, or the same devil, as some people say. We just love what Mork can do. We are super fine with the space that we have inside Mork. We're super fine with the pretty easy engine, and it's just reliable. So why to change and to start from scratch and to start with a new van? That doesn't mean that it will not leave you in the middle of the road. It will have different problems. So Mork will stay with us. Anyway, we cannot change our name into I don't know, Iveco Digital Nomads or Sprinter Digital Nomads. So we kind of stuck with that name, but no, we're so happy. And just a couple of days ago, we were on the other side of the Alps near Belluno, and I have a great phone call on WhatsApp with an Italian fellow Vanlifers, Alessandro. Thank you so much, Ale, for the chat. So he had the same van like ours. I think his one was a 1993, and he did the TDI swap. And we had an hour chat, and I threw many questions about timing difficulties and about the electronics and all this kind of stuff. And I would say he gave me some really great tips and advice on what could be the best option for Mork and what actually he did, and about that he's happy now with a van that went from 68 to 90 horsepower. So pretty good. Then I got advice from several people, because I also wrote on the T4 Italian forum about our problems with the engine, and I got advice to go and check what is considered maybe the VW T4 guru in Italy. His name is Florian, and his workshop is just south of Bolzano. That is not far from where we are now. I mean, you can see the wood in the back. So we're still in the beginning of the Dolomites. So 2 days ago, I just called him and tell if it was possible to meet up so I can show the van and we can chat about the possibilities. So the great thing is that the best option we can have for Mork is to swap the engine. However, that it's still working, guys. It's not that it's blowing and falling apart. It's still working, but we can fix the oil leaking, we can fix that, but probably in several months next year some other problems will come out, simply because it's an old engine. And so the best option we spoke about will be to swap the engine with a Golf 3 engine, a 1.9 TDI engine. I think the engine is a AFN, that's the code for the engine. It's pretty similar to our engine. I mean, from the outside, it doesn't change very much. We can find, for example, a complete running Golf 3 for maybe about 1,000–1,500 euro. So we can buy the entire car and then take everything out. That means the engine plus all the cables for the electronics. So it seems that this type of engine is the one that needs less modification. From what I understood, there's just one point that needs to be modified where the engine is fixed to the body, to the chassis, and some other few things. And then of course we need to put the electronic parts. So that's the first good news. AFN engine 1.9 TDI. It will be also possible just by working on the electronics with, I think, with a chip, to simply tell to the engine to put a little bit more diesel while running, and that will bring our engine from 90 horsepower to 110 horsepower. That, you know, going from 68 right now to 110, guys, I will pretty much fly. I will need just a couple wings on the side. Anyway, we don't want to overpower the engine. I mean, we are slow travelers, so 110, I think it's a pretty good, steady engine to go with. And the second thing that I asked Florian, it was like, well, can you make it 4x4? Just as a joke. And he goes like, yeah. And I goes like, really? Yes. So I suppose that with the T3, the T25, it's much more difficult to transform a normal T3 into a Syncro. But the T4 and our T4, it's already set up to become a Syncro. For example, the diesel tank, it's already shaped on one side to have the huge, I'm not sure about the terms in English, the huge pipe that goes into the rear wheel, and differential, probably differentiale, I'm not really sure. So it's already shaped and already have the attachments on the back wheels in order to put the differential. So I was like, so our van can become a Syncro? And he goes like, yeah. And it's pretty easy. What we need is to find a T4 Syncro where we can take down all the parts that we need. That means the gearbox, because it's a different gearbox, is like smaller gearbox. I mean smaller, like not long gears, like short gears. And then all the system, the Syncro system, in order to attach the rear wheels, and that will transform Mork into a Syncro. I just can't believe that. So the only difference and the only modification that we need to do, as you know, all the T3 and as well the T4 Syncro have the fifth wheel on the back with a swinging arm on the back door. Why? Because that part, usually our fifth wheel is just at the bottom of the van in the rear part, but that part we need that space for the differential. So that's a modification that we will need to do, and I kind of like it because I also have an idea to change our bike rack now and to build something a little bit stronger in order to put the wheel, and then eventually it can go an external box or a water tank, or eventually a bike like in vertical. So I would like to do this job. I think the most important part is that we're gonna need to cut a little bit more in the back part, because in order to fix the swinging arm you need to put a solid plate of metal inside, in order to, so that the sheet metal of Mork will not bend with the weight of the wheels and the vibration. So this is pretty much the plan. So far we found a VW T4 Syncro pickup truck for €1,500, and I suppose the price is negotiable. The only problem is that it's in the north of Germany, and that means that eventually I will need to go there and drive all the way down. So the mechanic as well, he will check in his contact and scrapyard if he can find a T4 Syncro where we can just take the parts and it's not that far. And here I ask again your help, guys. I'm asking because I'm not even on Facebook, so I'm not on groups and this kind of stuff. But if you see around, let's say in Italy, most of all, and the Alps area, can be just Germany, Austria, France, a T4 Syncro that it's on sale for parts, well, I'm interested if I can take from there the gearbox and all the differential system in order to put it under Mork and then just to engage the 4x4 wheel, and I think I can go on walls. I mean, with 110 horsepower and Syncro, plus of course we're gonna do after that the high top roof. Gosh, this will be the ultimate van for us. I mean, it will be perfection. I think, we spend many years try to upgrade and do something that will create a little bit more comfort for us. Some other time it was to spend less. For example, last summer in UK, to get rid of the camping gas, the really expensive bottle, and get the T25 10 liters tank that it's under and I can fill everywhere just with some adapters. UK, France, Portugal, Italy. And if you just think, one camping gas last summer in Scotland was £38, and it's I think 5 liters. Now that I got 10 liters, in order to fill the entire tank, I spent probably between 6 and 8 euro. So there's a huge difference on the budget, and of course lasts more time. So it's, I would say, pretty much couple months, even with the shower that we have, the gas shower. So 7 years trying to, improve and make things work better, and now it seems that will be the ultimate kind of overland van. I'm so happy about it. I'm so happy because we avoid many times to go on some dirt roads because we don't know what will happen. We don't know if we can come back from that road. Now I think with a 4x4 I will have at least the safety to just go and not even think about, because of these reasons. So yeah, it makes me really happy. And again, guys, thank you so much for all your comment. It's so nice to see your support. It's so nice to hear and to read all your comments. Somebody told me it's a good engine, the 2.5 TDI, and yes, it's a good engine. The only problems that I have with that, first of all, we don't need that much power. I mean, again, with slow travel, we don't even go on highways, so usually I drive with 70, 80 kilometers per hour, so it's pretty slow. But the only problem is that I still want to keep, at least from an outside look, because swapping the engine in Italy and other country in Europe is forbidden actually. I mean, you should go through all the registration process again. So the thing is, we speak about 1.9 TDI that still have 4 cylinders, and it's will use some parts that we already have. For example, the turbine. I can still use our turbine. I just need to do some work on it, but it will be the same. So from an outside look, if somebody open and watch the engine, will be pretty much the same. Even the cover for the heads, it's absolutely the same. When a 2.5, well, there's 1 cylinder more. I mean, it's a little bit more eventually not complicated, but there's more work in order to adapt and to put that engine into our van. And again, one more cylinder is pretty visible. If somebody knows something about mechanic and about the T4, it will be more easy to see that it's not its engine. So that's why we want to avoid the engine. And again, we have people that told us that there's absolutely no problem to fit the 1.9 TDI, and it's really a reliable engine. So that's what we want, a reliable van. And we had it for 7 years. We had a super reliable van that didn't left us on the road. I would say as well, it's a budget thing, not only because it will be much more expensive to buy a different van and start from scratch because it will have different problems. But for example, I checked for parts. VW still got cheap parts. When if you go on Mercedes, oh my god, probably it's double or 3 times the cost of the VW parts. So that makes me feel better, because I know it's not a bloodbath, I don't want that. I want a reliable vehicle. And we were looking around, and we just have it, and we had it for 7 years. That's why we're gonna keep on rolling on Mork. That is still doing fine right now. It's just great. It's just not the best engine ever, as you know. The 1.9 TD, probably it's a little bit small and not that powerful for the weight of our van, but so far it's still running, it's still in good shape. We invest already a lot of time in rebuilt the van a couple of years ago, taking out all the rust, and wow, hopefully we're gonna have a 4x4 as well, that a Syncro. That's just crazy. So guys, again, if you heard of anybody that is selling a T4 Syncro for parts, just write us on Facebook, on Instagram, on the comments here, on my email that you can find on our website, whatever you like. Just inform us in, let's say, the next months. Probably everything that we're gonna do will be after the summer holiday, with the high roof and with the engine. So we speak about probably from the last week of August and September. That's the time that we can give, and we're gonna dedicate to put a new engine and put the high roof and do these works. So yeah, if you heard something about a T4 Syncro for parts, we are really interested. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much again. See you in the next video.